This is a new Audi A6 E-Tron. In this video I'll be testing range and consumption, cabin noise and also the charging. Welcome to It's Only Electric. Let's start with the basics. This is a large station wagon or estate car, measuring 4.9 meters in length with a wheelbase of just over 2.9 meters. It weighs 2.2 tons. This specific car is the E-Tron Performance S-Line Selection Edition. It is rear-wheel drive with a 270 kW motor at the back, producing 367 horsepower and 565 Newton meters of torque. It should be able to do 0 to 100 in 5.4 seconds with a top speed of 210 kilometers per hour. It's built on the PPE platform, Premium Platform Electric, and that's the same as the Audi Q6 and also the Porsche Macan. It is a 800 volt system and should be able to charge from 10 to 80% in 21 minutes with a top speed of 270 kilowatts. We'll see about that later in this video. When it comes to AC charging, it charges at 11 kilowatts. It has a large battery with a gross capacity of 100 kilowatt hours and the net capacity of 95. Its stated VLTP are 643 kilometers. It drives on 21-inch winter tires, and those are Michelin X-Ice Snow, 275/35 at the back and 245/40 at the front. Time to drive the car. Now I am where you should be in this car, and that's inside and driving it. This is a driver's car and it's amazing to drive, and that's a spoiler. But to the range and consumption test, we're driving a fixed route of 80 kilometers and it's mixed speeds between 50 all the way up to 110 kilometers per hour. It's the same road and same stretch every time, and we have a couple of set rules. And the first one is we always stick to the speed limit. The second one is we put the car in eco mode or efficiency mode with this Audi. And the third one is put AC on efficiency or eco if available, and it is in eco mode right now, and I think the right side or passenger side is turned off. I have just passed 28 kilometers, so we have passed the fast stretch, the 110 kilometer stretch, and now we're driving at 80 kilometers per hour. And the average consumption right now is 19.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and that seems fairly good and fairly normal for this car. It has a big battery of 100 kilowatt hours of gross capacity and 95 of net, so this should be a range monster, but we'll see later in this video how it actually turns out in real life. Keep in mind we're driving on the 21-inch wheels, it's winter tires, and it's plus 1 degrees outside. But we're lucky today because it's sunny and it's amazing weather with an amazing car. Spoiler alert, I love this car. And in this video I will also add some thoughts and some personal opinions, as I always do in my videos. This specific car is the Audi A6 Avant E-Tron Performance S-Line Selection Edition. And that's a mouthful. On the Audi E-Tron cars, performance now means big battery pack, so it's not a long range, it's a performance. So the performance name means it has a big battery. The S-Line Selection Edition is fully packed with technology, and I will not be able to go through them all in this video, but to see more about this car and learn more about it, you have my brother's full review up here. Check that one out. He will go through the car in more detail than I will be able to do in this video. I have just passed 40 kilometers and the average consumption right now is 18.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. It's a driver's car and a range monster. The first thing I thought about when I started driving this car was that I want to drive a lot. I want to do a Euro trip with this car because this is a driver's car. This is a cruiser. You could drive for hours with this car and it's so comfortable. These sports seats, they feel amazing. They don't have any massage, they don't have any cooling, but they have good thigh support. For the first time in a while, I actually feel this is a German car. This is how I remember German cars when I was younger. like 10, 15 years ago. The premium quality, the sturdiness, it feels like a tank. The fit and finish is great, the materials are great, it's quiet, it sticks to the road. You really feel special in this car. This car fits me perfectly. I love driving this car. I don't want to get out of it. I just want to drive for hours. And with this battery, in theory, you should have great range. I don't understand the hype around SUVs. For me, sedans and even station wagons all the way. I think more people should drive station wagons than SUVs. You have bigger boots, you have the same backseat area, and they're more efficient and they look a lot better. And you get more range. I don't understand the hype. Get a station wagon or sedan instead. And to the mandatory speed limit warning system. In this car, Audi has put a shortcut. It's a star, or you can change the shortcut to whatever you want. But on the press car at least, this button turns off the speed limit warning system. So you just press it one time and it's off, and you will get a car with a speed sign. So really easy to understand and really easy to turn off. And otherwise, you can just swipe the screen from left to right and you get a shortcut menu in a way. And here you have a car with a ring around it, and here you can turn off all the safety system from tidiness monitor to distraction monitor to the speed limit warning system and a couple of other things. So it's really easy to get, and you have all of them just by swiping, pressing one button, and then you have 5 different alternatives to turn off. So Audi made it really easy. This Audi is equipped with adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist, and they work great. The lane keep can be a little bit hit and miss in higher speeds. Sometimes it doesn't see the lines, but the roads right now in the winter are not that good in Sweden, but it's still very good. It differs from other Volkswagen cars and the Cupra car, because those have the adaptive cruise control on the steering wheel, but Audi has it on a separate small stalk underneath the blinker stalk. It's a little bit hard to get used to in the beginning, but after using it a couple of times, it's actually really good. You know exactly where it is, you don't have to look at it, you always know what to do with it. You press it, on the side is a small button, and there you set the speed. You press up and down, you change the speed. Pretty easy. If you press hard up and down, you will feel another notch, like a double tap, and then it goes up 10 at a time. You can press it to the front and then you cancel the cruise control, or pull it back to you and then you resume it. Really easy to use, but as I said, it's a little bit harder to get used to it, but when you have, it's great. Otherwise, on the blinker stock you also have one button on the side, like on the small part, and when you press that one you will have the lane keep assist. So you can have adaptive cruise control with or without lane keep assist, as many other cars. It's really easy to turn it off here or turn it on. You just press that and you will get a notification on the screen where it says lane keep assist is on or off. But that's on a separate stalk on top, on the blinker stalk. This Audi is equipped with head-up display, and it's great. It's big, it's clear, it's bright. I actually forget that I have an instrument cluster sometimes, because I'm only looking at the glass or head-up display in this case. You have all the information you need. You have your radar, you have your adaptive cruise control, everything is there. It also have AR function as the premium Volkswagen one, probably the same system, but it actually looks a little bit better on this one. That's my personal opinion. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I just overhyped the Audi, but for me it feels a little bit better than the Volkswagen one, or a little bit more clear, at least for me. But the AR function in this case actually adds a lot to the experience, because it puts road signs on the road and it like flies on top of you. It looks great. And you also have your navigation, you get your arrows on the screen. It's time to summarize the range and consumption test. It was +1 degrees outside, dry roads and sunny, but we are driving on 21-inch studless winter tires, and this will affect the consumption. But still, this Audi A6 managed 18.8 kWh per 100 kilometers, which is actually pretty good. This is 505 kilometers of real-world range, and that's 77% of the stated VLTP. 505 kilometers is actually a good range. It's a big car, but it's still good. With even better road conditions, say 15 to 20 degrees outside, you will easily get 550 to 600 kilometers of range. So this car is a range monster. Per request from some of our viewers, we also added a high-speed range and consumption test. We have got some requests that they wanted to drive 130 kilometers per hour, but in Sweden the maximum speed is 120. So I put 120 GPS speed, so 123 kilometers per hour indicated in the car. And the average consumption was 26.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which equates to 353 kilometers of real-world range in that speed. Keep in mind, the weather was really harsh. When I started the test, it was -3 degrees, and then within 20 minutes it dropped to -6 degrees. I was driving the car in efficiency mode and the AC on eco, so I actually think 26.5 was a good result. I don't think there is many cars that would be better, not in these speeds. And I resetted the tripometer when I already was in that speed, so no acceleration and nothing. So the average speed actually was 123 kilometers per hour and not 90 or 80. And now to the cabin noise test. We always measure the cabin noise on the same road and same stretch. We put the microphone in head height on the passenger side, and we measure the average noise at 50, 70, 90 and 110 kilometers per hour. The car is really quiet, exactly as expected. It's on par with BMW i5 with the same type of wheels. It's more noisy than the EQS and the Neo ET7, but they are another class of cars. They are a lot bigger and even more premium. So it's a really quiet car and it's really good for its class. And now to the last topic, and this is charging. And this is where the PPE platform really shines. The only problem is there is no manual preheating, so you need to navigate to the charger to preheat the battery. So I navigated to the charger 1 hour before so I could preheat the battery for a long time. I plugged in and charged the car from 10 to 80%, and it took 22 minutes and 48 seconds. The stated time is 21 minutes, but still pretty good. The top speed I saw was 275 kilowatts, which is over the stated 270 kilowatts, which is great. And 22 minutes and 48 seconds is amazing and one of the best cars overall in charging speeds. There are some Chinese cars that are better, like Zeekr, 15 minutes or 19 minutes, amazing. But for a European car, this is one of the best charging cars and it's really great. I think the car had a little bit problem with overheating because the battery was 47 degrees and I heard the cooling fan on all the time. So the car preheated a little bit too long. So there was a couple of times where the charging speed dipped a little bit. So I think Audi could work a little bit more on the preheating system or maybe cooling of the battery. It was cold outside, so the car should have been able to charge at 21 minutes, but probably some software bug or some optimization is needed to get exactly 21 minutes. But it should be able to do it. I think the battery was too hot, as I said. But still, this is a really good charging car. And I saw speeds over 200 kilowatts at 50% state of charge, and even over 100 kilowatts at 80% state of charge. So a really good charging platform and car. Let me summarize my thoughts and feelings about this car. I already knew in the beginning I would like this car because I like the Q6 and Porsche Macan. I actually love this car. After driving this car for the first couple of hours, I immediately thought I want to do a road trip. Like do a Euro road trip, because this is a great driving car with great comfort, great range, it's quiet, it's fun. Even though this car is really expensive, it starts from 760,000 crowns or 67,000 euros. And this one starts at 1 million crowns or 89,000 euros. That's expensive, but still I think it's worth the money. You feel where the money has gone. I haven't had this feeling for a German car in many years. I know I had the same feeling with the first BMW X5 in like 2000s. That was also wow. And I feel the same with this car. I cannot explain exactly why. I really like this car. From the fit and finish, to the comfort, to the efficiency, to the range, to the decent performance. to the looks both inside and outside, I think this is an amazing car. I don't understand the hype around SUVs. I think a station wagon or a sedan is enough in size. You have the boot on the station wagon, it's really big. You have good back seats, both headroom and legroom, and it's a lot more efficient and it looks a lot better. I don't know why everyone needs to sit high up, if it just feels more safe or something, but I would prefer a sedan or a station wagon all the time. Even the driving dynamics is a lot better in a long station wagon than a big SUV. If you have the money, you should go for this car if you want an electric car. I don't know any other option that is better than this one right now. It grabs a lot of attention, both outside and inside. Everyone is looking. I have a couple of people asking what car is it. It looks amazing. Is it new? I haven't seen it before. The back looks aggressive. It's low and wide. It looks really good. Inside there's a lot of screens. This has the digital mirrors. So there's 5 screens inside plus the head-up display. But none of them take your eyes. I don't know if I would prefer these digital mirrors, but you get used to them. They actually work pretty decently. They're a little bit hard to measure distances sometimes. When it comes to the sound system, this car is equipped with the Bang & Olufsen premium sound system, and it's great. You have good mids, clear highs, and the subwoofer and bass are really good, especially at higher volumes. It doesn't bottom out as many other speakers can do, so you can really pump the music in a loud volume, and this with a quiet cabin makes the experience really great. If I would spec this car, I would probably spec it close to this one. The big battery pack performance, the tech package, the digital mirrors, the glass roof, the air suspension. I will probably keep the rear wheel drive. If you want more performance or driving in more winter conditions, maybe you should go for a 4-wheel drive car. As I said, I cannot say this car is cheap. Even though this car costs 1 million crowns or 89,000 euros, I think it's worth every penny. And this is the first time I say that about any car, because it gives you all the feelings, and I love the looks both inside and outside. What do you think about this car? The efficiency, the range, and the looks overall? Is it worth the money, or am I just crazy? If you had the money, would you choose this car or something else? Please comment down below, let's have a discussion. And thank you for watching, and as we always say, stay electric.